Hari Om. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Yatah Sarvani Bhutani Pratibhanti Sthitani Cha Yatraiva Pasamam Yanti Tasmai Satyatane Namaha. Jnata jnanam tatha jnayam drashta darsana desyabhu karta hetuh kriya jasmat tasmai jnaptyatane namaha. Sfuranti sikara jasmat Ananda Sambhare Vano Sarve Sam Jivanam Tasmai Brahmanandatane Namaha. Brahmanandatane Namaha. Vedodadhim Samunavatya Jnanaratnam samudritam Yena tasmai vasisthaya Gurunam Gurave Namaha. Vasistha Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Sabda Brahma ki jai, Saraswati Maharani ki jai, Yoga Vasistha Bhagavan ki jai. Hari Om. We are discussing Yoga Vasistha Nirvana Prakaran and first half. In that 93rd chapter, where we were discussing the story of Chudala and the king Sikhidhwaj. Sikhidhwaj had great dispassion from the study of scriptures, and slowly he was contemplating over all these worldly enjoyments, and he found it to be useless. So he decided to renounce the whole kingdom and his beautiful, obedient wife, Chudala, and he did it all of a sudden one day. One night he left everything and went far off to the mountain caves for austerities, for purification of the body, senses, mind, intellect, everything. He thought, without purifying all these, there is an impossible of the dawn of knowledge. So he had to renounce all these. went to the forest all alone in absolute solitary place. He made a small thatched house and he started doing austerities and worshipping the gods for a long time, say for 18 years. And slowly his heart was pure, and yet he was unable to attain peace of mind. In between, Chudala, who studied all the scriptures with the king, she accepted the essence of all the scriptures, that God is, truth is, all-pervading, all-knowing, omniscient, and omnipotent also. So, as such, there is nothing but the absolute truth alone, and every being is part and parcel of it. So, just as a spark of fire is fire itself, when it grows, when it gets favorable conditions, it becomes forest fire and burns the whole forest. Similarly, the individual being part and parcel of the absolute truth, he is none other than the truth itself. The moment he knows it, contemplates over it, and accepts it, then according to this saying, Brahma Bit Brahmeva Bhavati, one who knows the absolute truth, he becomes one with the truth. Chudala, the queen, she understood this and she accepted it, and then and there she had the knowledge of the self. She didn't take time for purificatory process, and then sometimes the knowledge will done, but she got the knowledge then and there. So matter of understanding and acceptance of the truth. We know many things, but we don't accept it from our heart of hearts. We just hear it and overhear it, and just as passing clouds, we forget it. This is why we are, because of our long-standing habits, nature, we are bound to this world, transitory world of names and forms. We don't have the knowledge of the self. So in between the queen Chudala, because she was all-knower, she had all the capabilities. She was master of all the arts, because she accepted the truth. Being the truth, one becomes omnipotent. All the extraordinary qualities appear in him. In this way, Chudala, when accepted the truth, became the truth itself. she had all the supernatural powers. So she used to go to Sikhidhwaj, the king, who was doing austerities in the woods. She used to go there and watch the king, what is he doing. After 18 years of very intense austerities and upasana, the worship of the Lord, she knew that the king has now a pure heart to accept the truth. So she went to him in a disguised form, in the form of the celestial being, and she appeared before the king as a luminous star like some being. So the king welcomed her or him as the celestial being, and the king had talked with her, and the king accepted her as his guru, the preceptor, and asked the question about himself, that even after renouncing everything, I am unable to get peace. I am always worried. Something is not allowing me to rest in peace. What is the cause? What is it? So Chudala went on explaining him, O king, though you have renounced your kingdom and your royal enjoyments, your beautiful queen, yet you have accumulated so many things here to which you have been attached, and your renunciation has not been completed. That's how you are not able to get the absolute peace. So hearing this, the king accumulated all those belongings of austerities, including the hut. He set fire to it and threw off all his belongings, little pots or all those malas or all those articles used for homa, everything he put into fire. And he thought he has completed the full renunciation process. But yet Chudala was standing before him and told, my dear king, yet you have not completed your total renunciation. Why? Because you have renounced everything, but not the renunciate. One who renounces, he is yet there as the ego and the renunciate. So, as long as you are there as the doer, as the renunciate, and you have not renounced yourself, the ego and I, till then the renunciation is not complete. Now in this stage we were discussing yesterday, Chudala said, हे महाराज, सर्वत्याग संपूर्ण संपत्तियों का निवास स्थान है, क्योंकि जो कुछ नहीं लेता उसे सब कुछ दिया जाता है. Chudala said, O king, the place of all the wealth is total renunciation. Total renunciation gets everything. When he renounces everything, he gets everything. Every action has its opposite and equal reaction. So when you renounce everything, you get everything. And this is how, if you renounce everything, you will get everything, means the absolute truth which is everything, and thereby you will get absolute peace. Till then you are unqualified, disqualified to get the absolute peace. हे भूपते, सबका परित्याग करके शांत, स्वस्थ और आकार के समान सौम्य जो रूप आप हो रहे हैं, तद्रूप हो जाइए. He says, O king, just as you are trying to renounce everything, even the ego, and reach the highest state of the being, that is absolute truth, so please do it and be it. हे भूमिपाल, आप पहले जो त्याज्य पदार्थ हैं उन सब का मनसा परित्याग कर, अनंतर जिस मन से परित्याग कर रहे हैं उस मन का त्याग कर, उसके बाद त्यागाभिमान रूप अहंकार मल का भी त्याग कर जीवन मुक्त रूप हो जाइए. Chudala says, O king, renounce everything, and after that you have to renounce the mind which renounces, and then the ego which governs the mind and does everything. And then that I or ego, when renounced, then you will rest in peace forever and ever. Do it and enjoy the bliss of a realized soul. Thus ended the 93rd chapter. Today we shall see the 94th chapter, wherein we shall see चित्त का परित्याग करने के लिए उसके मूल की परिशुद्धि करने पर देह आदि वेद्य पदार्थों का बाध और तदनंतर पूर्ण चित्ती का अवशेष यह वर्णन. In this chapter we shall see when the subconscious mind, we call it mind in general because subconscious mind or the mind is known as fourfold mind. The mind, intellect, ego and subconscious mind. Antakarana Chatushtay, the fourfold inner mind. So, by renouncing the seed of everything, the subconscious mind, chitta. When one gets completely purified, absolutely transparent, perfect, then all these bodies, senses, prana and mind, etc., they get renounced, and then the chitti means the supreme energy, supreme power, remains in the end in a stand-still position. It cannot do anything. When it starts doing, it is known as the seed. All the potentiality is hidden in the seed. So, the chitta is the effect of the supreme power, which is unmanifested, and then chitta is manifested, and chitta holds all the power. It is in an inert state, and it cannot remain without doing anything for long. Just as the seed gets all the favorable conditions and starts germinating with the view to be many, the whole universe stands upon the formula, one becomes many. This is the starting point, so till the end it will go on. So the chitta starts manipulating, modifying and multiplying, and it starts working. This process is nothing but a multiplying process by the changing phenomena. One appears, it disappears and gives rise to the other. In this way, there will be a gap and the things go on multiplying. This multiplying process or ever-changing process is the secret of the nature, the supreme power. So chitta, when starts acting, then first comes the ego, and then intellect, and then mind, common process of thoughts, moving thoughts, a current of thoughts, a flow of thoughts. That is called mind. And prana, the vital energy, activates all these vibratory process which are known as the thought waves. In this way, all together, in a cooperative manner, they start doing all the actions. So unless and until this seed chitta is destroyed or totally renounced from its root, till then the work is not completed. That means the renunciation is not perfect. That means also one cannot rest in peace. He will be ever doing something or other, because without doing anything nobody can stay for a moment. Nahi kaschid kshanam api jatu tishtatya karmakrit. Nobody can remain without doing anything for a moment even, because all these are vibratory process or changing process or multiplying process. It goes on because it has been started. So just as you have started the generator, it goes on as long as fuel is there. It will never stop. Similarly, this chitta goes on changing and doing something or other. That changing is doing, so it cannot remain without doing anything. So just as the engine once started, it will go on forever. Just as the pendulum in a vacuum, if you give a push once, it will go on oscillating for eternity, unless and until it is interrupted by air or other interruptions. Similarly, this chitta goes on working eternally. So, engine has fuel till then. As long as the fuel is there, it will not stop. So this chitta wherefrom gets it some fuel. What is the fuel for chitta? This is a very great question. And this fuel is nothing but it goes on in a cycle. Karma is the fuel. This action becomes food for the chitta to activate. So it is self-generating because it is in a cycle. The whole world is in a cycle form. Everything goes on in cycle. Everything repeats itself. The time, space, conditions, the creative process, everything repeats again and again. So, this chitta is self-sufficient, self-supported by karma. It does the karma, and karma is fuel for the chitta to activate, go on in a cycle. In this way, chitta never stops. So unless and until this process is totally destroyed, nobody can rest in peace. All the individuals are outcome of the chitta's working system. This is the root cause of the whole universe. This chitta is understood as individual chitta, and also it is universal chitta, which is called the chitta of the absolute. That is the Sanskrit name Satyamedha. Satyamedha, the subtlemost thought which is in the very beginning of the Absolute. That is, I am. That is the ego of the Absolute, which is known as the Creator. And it creates just as before because everything goes in cycle. So that universal thought, I, starts multiplying. Eko ham bahusyama. I am one, let me be many. In this way, the creative process goes on. Creative process is known as the nature of the Absolute. Nature means just as the fire has the nature of heat and light, so also this chitta has the nature of multiplying. Nature means its habit or manifestation, the potent, the energy which manifests, that is called the swabhav or the nature. Until and unless it is manifested, it is never known to anyone. So it is called unmanifested. When it manifests, it is observed by itself, by the senses, mind and all these, and so it is called manifestation or creation. Because it is in a cycle, if it is created, then after some time it has to be dissolved in the same substratum, the origin. In this way the creation go on. So this chapter we shall see how after renouncing the chitta, one attains the purification. Purification also we have to understand the oneness. Purity means oneness, where no adulteration is possible. Adulteration means mixture of many things. Purity means only one. So oneness is called purity. And in this way, when the chitta is renounced, then one remains in absolute pure state. That is the transparency or the perfection, or that is called the absolute truth. Vasistha says to Lord Rama, his disciple, हे श्री रामचंद्र जी, इस तरह चित्त के परित्याग का उपाय कुंभ ऋषि के बतलाने पर अपने अंतःकरण में बार बार विचार कर वह सौम्य राजा शिखिध्वज यह वचन बोला. After hearing all these secrets of sadhana, means the process to attain the highest, the goal. After hearing this from Kumbha Muni, that was Chudala herself, Shikhidhwaj went on pondering over this very seriously. And then he uttered these words. राजा शिखिध्वज ने कहा, है मुने, हृदय रूपी आकाश का पक्षी और अंतःकरण रूपी वृक्ष का बंदर, यह मन बार बार मेरे द्वारा दूर कर दिए जाने पर भी फिर समीप में आ ही जाता है. After contemplating seriously for some time internally, Shikhidhwaj expresses his experience, which is common to every aspirant. He says, O great one, O the celestial being, the bud of this tree, that is my being, which is known as the mind or the chitta, the subconscious mind. Though I drive it out again and again, it comes back and sits on the tree. Again and again. And similarly, he gives the other example. The restless monkey, the mind, the inner fourfold mind, though I drive it again and again from the tree of my being, it comes again and again. What to do? I am unable to drive this out. हे उत्तम, जाल जैसे व्याकुल मछली पकड़ लेता है, वैसे ही इस चित्त को पकड़ लेना तो मैं जानता हूँ, परंतु उसका त्याग मैं द्रव्य की तरह इसमें मूर्तत्व का अभाव होने से नहीं जानता. He gives his experience. He expresses his experience. O great one, O the noble soul, I understand what you say, but it is very difficult to drive out this monkey fourfold mind. Arjuna also asked the same question to Lord Krishna, when Krishna explained to Arjuna to have one-pointed mind and think of the Absolute all the time. Take shelter in me, think of me, and you will come to me. He explained in many ways to Arjuna. And in the end, Arjuna says, Oh Lord, it is as difficult as the air to hold in a net. This mind, you may be able to catch the wind in a net, but it is so difficult to catch this mind. It slips away. What is the way out? I don't know. So please explain me. As a result, what did Krishna say? He said, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena jagrihate. By the practice, again and again, repetition of practice, and by intense dispassion, it is possible to hold the mind. Similarly, here our Sikhidhwaj, the king, he expresses his inability to stop this mind. He says, O great one, I am understanding what you say, but it is so very difficult to stop this mind. How to renounce it? हे उत्तम, जाल जैसे व्याकुल मछली पकड़ लेता है, वैसे ही इस चित्तों को पकड़ लेना तो मैं जानता हूँ. I, just as the net catches all the fishes I know how to catch this chitta, the inner fourfold mind, but I don't know how to stop it. The children play hide and seek. One child will seek others who are hiding. And if somebody comes out, this child will chase him to catch. But if he catches, he slips out, slips on, and goes away. So catching is possible, but to stop it forcibly, it is impossible. I don't know how to hold this tightly and renounce. Previously, when Sikhiv was king, said, I have renounced the kingdom and all these I have renounced. Chudala remarked, O king, whatever doesn't belong to you, how can you renounce it? The kingdom doesn't belong to you, and you say, I have renounced it. So that point the king realized, of course, it doesn't belong to me. How can I say, how can I say I have renounced it? But this mind belongs to me. I know I am able to see it, that means catch it, but it doesn't stop. How to stop it? The great yogi Patanjali gives all these eightfold path practice how to stop the mind. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Vritti means the works, the profession, the working system, and to stop it. To start it very easy, but to stop it, how to stop? हे भगवान, सबसे पहले तो आप मुझसे चित्त का क्या स्वरूप, त्याग के योग्य निष्कृष्ट सामान्य रूप है, क्या स्वरूप है, यह ठीक ठीक वह कहिए। उसके बाद है प्रभु, चित्त की परित्याग की यथावत विधि बतलाइए। So the king says, "Oh, great one, first of all, tell me the real form of the chitta. How is it? Just as we see some fog, the foggy sky. Can you explain what is fog? Nothing. Nobody can exactly explain what is called fog. It is some kind of invisibility. It is some kind of obstruction to see something. So, exactly what it is, nobody can say. Our words are so meaningless, so incapable to mean something exactly 100%. Similarly, now the king says, I am able to see this chitta, means I am able to watch this, but how to stop it, how it is. The moment I hold it, it slips away. Just as the air in the net. How can you hold the air in the net? So first of all, tell me the form of chitta, the exact structural form and its composition. How is it? Total introduction of the chitta, the subconscious mind, which holds also the ego and intellect and mind and everything in it. Chitta is everything. So please explain me and then tell me how to stop it. Two methods. First of all, give the introduction, the definition and the structural form of the chitta so that I will know it clearly and then I shall try to hold it and renounce it. Can you define what is sweet? Sweet is a word. I asked you to bring some sweets from the market. What is called sweet? Is honey called sweet? Is the sugar candy called sweet? Or the rasgullas called sweet? Or the laddus called sweet? Or the jaggery called sweet? What is called? Or the red wheat is called sweet? What is called sweet? Some people were selling some sugar cane to chew. So is it not sweet? What is exact definition of sweet? It is some word which holds so many things within it. So similarly is the chitta. It is everything. How can you catch it? हे भगवान, सबसे पहले तो आप मुझसे चित्त का क्या स्वरूप बताइए, यह ठीक ठीक कहिए। इसके बाद हे प्रभु, चित्त के परित्याग की यथावत विधि बतलाइए। फर्स्ट टेल मी द रियल फॉर्म ऑफ इट, exact clear form of it, and then tell me the process how to renounce it. Kumbha Uvacha, hearing this, the Kumbha Muni, Chudala in the form of that celestial being, said, Hey Maharaj, वासना ही चित्त का स्वरूप है, यह जान लीजिए। चित्त शब्द तो वासना का पर्याय कहा गया है, पर्याय सिनोनिमस टर्म। दिस इज नथिंग बट, ओ किंग, चित्त इज नथिंग बट द आइडियाज और द सटल डिजायर्स। Vasana, subtle desires. We always discuss, there was some appearance in the absolute sky of consciousness. Just as we see a small patch of indistinct cloud in the evening sky of autumn. It appears for a moment and disappears then and there. Just some foggy little patch of some spot which we call little cloud. It appears and disappears in a moment. Similarly, there appeared something which is not there. The I in the absolute consciousness, somewhere in the minutest part of it. Just as we see some black spots in the sky when we rub the eyes and open it. We see some black spots in the sky. Are they real? They are something which is not there. Similarly, this I, which is not there, it is just imagination. It is called the idea or the subtlemost desires, vasana we call it in Sanskrit. So these vasanas which are not conditional, it doesn't depend upon any time, space or conditions. One vasana appeared, I. I means the ego, which has got no exact form. It goes on changing every moment. So you cannot take a photograph or videograph of I. No way you can catch it. So this is Ekoham, I am one. The moment you say one, there is expectation or possibility of the second. That's why you counted one. And from then onwards, all the multiplication process start. And then starts the I and my. Then starts the time and space and conditions. Then start the changing phenomena. That is called multiplicatory process. And then starts everything. Everything. The creation starts. Ekoham bahusyama. I am one, let me be many. Or let me see as many. How can we understand? Which is not there, it appears. Look at your body. If you say, I am the body, every one of us think like that. I am the body. This is the idea only. There is no body. When we contemplate over the word body to its true meaning or the root of the meaning, then can you show me where is the body? The body cannot be pointed out in the body. It is some idea of a total group. Body means the body of constitution, the body of the trust board, or the body of the village. Means it is a imaginary wholeness or totality of the group which has many within it. One becomes many. The moment you think of one, it becomes many. And one dissolves, one disappears, it becomes many. See the body. Can you say where is the body? The moment you see the body, body becomes parts of it. Body becomes the head or ears or nose or eyes or all these parts of the body. So, there is no body. You forget the body and you are centered in one part of it. Say it is hand. But the moment you centrify your mind on the hand, it is one, but yet there is no hand possibly seen. The moment you say it is hand, hand becomes many parts, it becomes many. Hand is not visible in the hand. Either it is skin or elbow or arm or the wrist or the palm or the fingers or the phalanges or the nail or something. It is not total hand. So in this way, when you center your mind on the finger, is it a finger? You cannot show where is the finger. All these phalanges, all this skin and all this movability or the nail or something, there is no finger anywhere. In this way, look at the tree. Tree, we see the tree, but not the tree. We see the tree without seeing the tree. Tree is some idea of some group of some imaginary parts. Imaginary parts. There is no parts of the body, the tree also. The moment you look at the branches, it is not branch, it is wood only. And it has got so many channels to pass the sap, and it is not the tree, it is branch only. How can you say this is tree? If you point out the leaf, it is not tree. So the moment you point out the leaf, it is the leaf, it is not the leaf. It is either the sides or the lines or the cells of the leaf, some part of it. It is not the leaf. In this way, when you go on pointing out any object, it disappears and it becomes many. This is the magic show of the whole world. This is how we are confused to see anything, to talk anything, to think anything. Everything is only a changing phenomena which is not stable and which is not exact, which is not real. So, this truth is invisible by these senses or the gross eye or mental eye. It is not at all known to anyone. Known means relative knowledge, but experientially it is all pervading, so it is ever existing everywhere without any condition. It is unconditional. Similarly, this idea of I, the I is invisible. I is unconditional. Nobody knows what is I. And this idea was appeared in the absolute transparent awareness, which is not at all there. Just as the water in the mirage, there is no water but idea of water, it confuses you. Similarly, the sage Kumbha said, "Hey Maharaj, Vasana hi chitta ka swarup hai." This is Vasana, this subtle idea which has got no form, no name, but we have named it only for our relative understanding, to say something or to hear something from others. This word is used meaninglessly. Vasana. Vasana is known as the chitta. So chitta is not at all anywhere there. And when we contemplate over the seed, is it a seed? Seriously thinking and speaking, can you define exactly what is seed? Nobody can. It is some potentiality which is not visible, which is in a dormant state. How can you explain and define it? What is seed? Seed also is thousands of future trees, innumerable future seeds, and past trees, and past seeds, fruits, flowers, what not. Everything is within the seed. And when the conditions are suitable, favorable, it starts multiplying and it appears magically to be many. Just as the magician shows one note. What do you see? What do you see? One note, 50 rupees note. Arey chal, Kalkati wali, low one. Another, low. Another, low. How many you want? This is called magic. Of course, this is gross magic, you can find it out. But the magicians are too clever. They hide everything within it. Many is hidden in one. So they go on pulling one after the another. They give it. Similarly, this many is hidden in one, the magic of the creation. Chitta also is just like that, and the magic object is the seed. It has got many in it, and when we contemplate over the word seed seriously, rightly, then we come to understand there is nothing called chitta. So now Kumbha Muni explains, my dear king, there is nothing called chitta. It is only vasana, the subtlemost desire which is unconditional, which is beyond time, space and conditions. वासना ही चित्त का स्वरूप है, यह जान लीजिए। चित्त शब्द से वासना का पर्याय कहा गया है। इट इज सिनोनिमस टर्म फॉर द आइडिया। चित्त इज नथिंग सॉलिड you can get somewhere. उसका त्याग अत्यंत सुकर है। And to renounce it is so easy. How? Can you say how it is easiest to renounce? Which is not there, where the question of renouncing it, we have just hold it tightly, which is not there, just as our imaginations. I told you the story of my swastika ashram again and again. Everybody, almost everybody is aware of my swastika ashram. Once I stayed somewhere near the bank of river Gomati. I was able to stay there for a month or so. It was near the great crimson ground, and it was so lonely, and the travelers, the wandering monks, they get food once there by some arrangements. So I used to get my food and go on sitting in the crimson ground under a tree all alone, or sitting on the bank of river Gomati, or I will be sleeping, lying down in Savasana in my couch inside the small hut, enough for one person, and go on imagining. For 1 month continuously I went on building a beautiful ashram in the form of swastik, and whole 1 month it was such an ashram, you cannot believe. It is made up of gold, and thousands of good trains, they carried gold from all over the earth, from other planets also, and they gathered it. I gave the contract to the universal contractor, the creator. Please make an ashram as I wish. I gave the blueprint and oversaw everything, directed everything, and the creator started creating the ashram in the form of swastik, and it was so high, it touched the limit of the sky, and poor sun was unable to move in the sky, so he had to divert from his straight way, and he had to go to the setting mountains. Poor fellow. He came and requested me several times. I didn't hear him. And I put a big piece of diamond on the top. So there was always day on the earth. There was no night. There was no need of any sun or moon for light on the... Yes, that diamond was so big. Hundreds of suns they can push into its womb. Such a big diamond. And that was nothing but... What is the name of that diamond? It is Jupiter. It was on the top of my temple. And I celebrated the house entering celebration. And I called so many innumerable gods and goddesses and all these siddhas and ascetics and great people all over from the universe, from different galaxies also. And I had a big feast for years, and all of them ate so much, they had diarrhea. They could not control, but they went on eating. And I had to engage so many doctors, the celestial doctors, I called them from all over the universe. And after long trial, they got cured. They were abusing me. You fellow, you did such a bhandara. we fell ill. I begged pardon. And I had a small hut, thatched hut in the corner of that swatik. And there were 4 springs, perennial springs. One was milk, the other was ghee, purified butter, and other was honey, and other was pure water. So nothing is lacking there. This is how imagination, ideas, it has got no conditions, there is no time, there is no space, anywhere, anything you can build. This is how the chitta works. My chitta did it. You can also do it. And your so-called visible world is within a dust particle. It is moving here and there helplessly in this absolute sky. Nobody cares at it. And this is the work of chitta. So how can you define what is chitta? आपका त्याग अत्यंत सुकर है. So it is so easy to renounce it. I built that ashram with so much effort and I have renounced it. And that renunciation makes me able to get it anytime, anywhere, at all conditions, whenever I want to go there and abide there for a few hours and rest and talk to those great gods and all those monks. This is called chitta, the imaginary process. So it is very easy to renounce it. यानी केवल औदासीन्य का अवलंबन करने मात्र से आपको सिद्धि हो जाती है। अतएव स्पंदन की अपेक्षा ही वह सुख साध्य है। राज्य की अपेक्षा उसमें अधिक आनंद है और कुसुम की अपेक्षा अधिक सुंदर भी है। हाउ इट इज, व्हाट इज द प्रोसेस टू रिनाउंस इट? ऑफ कोर्स वी जस्ट से which is not there, there is no effort to renounce it. So no effort means it is total indifferency. Indifferency. Don't look at it, it is gone. Don't think of it, but whole trouble. If I say don't think of it, you will think of it. That is the whole trouble. So indifferency is not to look at it, how there is no question of renouncing or accepting. There is no need of getting it or leaving it. Just be indifferent. Indifference means to push it into back. Don't look at it. And I shall tell you out of my experience. I have experienced it, and you can try also. To whom you want to punish, your enemies. We have so many enemies in our life. Those who do opposite to our needs, desires, they are our enemies. Everywhere there are enemies only, because nowhere we get what we want. So the punishment to the enemies is so easy. Just be indifferent, don't look at them. In children it is called kutti. Kutti. They don't look at each other, they don't talk to each other. That is called indifference. This is the greatest weapon you can have. By this you can renounce the whole world. All the enemies you can punish, and by this you can conquer over the whole world. This is called real total renunciation. If you don't look at this world, do you look at your dream 10 years back at odd hours in the night? Do you remember it? How you have renounced it so easily? Do you remember the dream what you dreamt 10 years ago at night in some odd hours? How did you renounce it? How easy it is. Just don't look at it, don't think of it. Then what happens? You may have this very complicated question. When you are indifferent to the whole world, you are indifferent to the root of it, the chitta, subconscious mind. Then what remains? Who are you? Who is indifferent to all these? That you is real truth. That you is the remnants, the outcome of it. And that you is everything. When you renounce everything, now you are the master of the universe. Everything is at your feet. How is it? Easy is it? But so difficult. Nobody is able to do it. Why it is so difficult? That is another complicated question. Though it is so easy, why not it is so available to everyone, not achieved by everyone? The same question Arjuna asked to Lord Krishna in Gita, when Lord Krishna was explaining the magnanimity of the absolute truth and so easily available to everyone. So naturally, the Arjuna had the question, "Oh my Lord, if it is so easily available to everyone and so great wealth, there is no other wealth greater than it, achieving which nothing else remains to be achieved. Why not all the beings realize it and attain it?" What did Lord Krishna reply? What did he say? Astradhanaha purusaha. Because you don't believe it, you have no faith on it, you don't want it. If somebody is distributing some cold drinks at your perambulation on the way of your Vrindavan, that mountain, that rock, what is that? Govardhan. So many people, they have free distribution of drinks, food, everything in the way. And they are also, when you go around the mountain called Arunachal, where Ramana Maharshi stayed. In the way, you will get so many things free of cost. People distribute on some merits. If you don't look at them, will they run behind you? That is called indifference, that is called renunciation. Everything, if you like to have it, then only you will get it. If you don't want, who is asking you? So in this way, if you have interest in it, choice to get it, though it is available free of cost and greatest wealth, you don't want it. So how can you get it? That's why common people, they don't have faith. They don't have choice to get it. And why it is so? Why do not they get the interest to get it, so great wealth? This is also another question. So it is, though it is so easily available, and it is everywhere, and the greatest wealth. Why do not the people have interest to have it? So there are so many reasons. The ignorance is the greatest barrier. They don't know it, and so many other causes. They don't have tasted it. They have not seen it. They have no experience of it. That is called ignorance. So how can they will have any interest to get it? Do you like to get which is not seen by you? It is impossible. So ignorance, of course, is the root cause of it. And habits also. We have been habituated to think of the world, petty objects which are ever changing and which are in a cycle of happiness and miseries. So we chase after little objects which give us momentary pleasure, and then afterwards pariname dukkha samad. It is in the end it gives us only miseries, sufferings. So these are all the cause why, though it is easily available, everywhere available, unconditionally available to you, the greatest wealth, because you don't know, you don't have choice for it. So the common people never get it. तब क्यों उसका सब लोग संपादन नहीं करते हैं? इस पर कहते हैं मूर्ख के लिए तो चित्त का परित्याग करना उतना दुस्साध्य है जितना कि पामर के लिए साम्राज्य और तृण के लिए सुमेरु रूपता प्राप्त करना दुस्साध्य है. So when Sikhidhwaja asked, though it is so easily available, why not people seek for it, don't get it? So Kumbha Muni replied, my dear, for the ignorant person, for a fool, chitta, to renounce chitta is the greatest difficult job under the sun. Nobody can do it, they think. Nobody can do it. Just as the blade of grass cannot imagine of the Himalaya mountain to become Himalaya, cannot imagine it. The beggar cannot imagine of the empire of the emperor. He cannot imagine. And for this only, Kumbha Muni first gave the story of Chintamani. Some great man who had got everything in worldly sense. He was well-to-do in every sense. He had the desire to get the Chintamani, the jewel, will-fulfilling jewel, which can give you everything. And he did austerities for some time because he was well versed in all these rituals. So in a short time, he got that Chintamani easily before him. Before him, Chintamani appeared, the jewel appeared before him. But the ascetic didn't believe, because how can it be so easily available? It is the greatest wealth. That faith was not there. So he didn't go to have it. He misbehaved with it. He didn't care to get it. So being ill-treated, the great jewel disappeared before him. And this foolish ascetic went on doing austerities for a long time. And then all of a sudden, he saw a glittering piece of glass, and he thought this must be the jewel, Chintamani. And he had it, and he thought, I have got everything. And he gave up all his properties, all his kith and kins. He was selfish to go to dense forest with that piece of glass, thinking it is Chintamani. Let me enjoy myself, whatever I wish, I will get it. But alas, when he left everything, went to the dense forest for enjoying everything, he could not do anything. He lost everything. Poor fellow. Similarly, these worldly people, the common people, they don't accept the Chintamani will-fulfilling jewel, which is available everywhere. It is all-pervading. It is omnipresent. So easily available to everyone. Now, why do they not accept it? Just as that ascetic, he had no faith on it, and he had no respect for it, no Shraddha, no Vishwas. So he lost it, and he was going for petty piece of glass. Similarly, these worldly people, they go for little happiness got from these sense objects, which are so transitory, ever changing, ever slips away from our hands. The moment you touch it, it is gone. So, the first cause is not knowing the Absolute, just as that ascetic didn't know, and he had no faith. Common people have no faith on God, the all-pervading God. And the common people also, they are satisfied with little things. They cannot imagine of such imperishable wealth. And moreover, because of their ignorance, they don't know anything. That's how they are called fools, ignorant. This is the cause why people suffer in this world. They don't go for the highest wealth, though it is available everywhere in all conditions. One who has got faith and devotion, he gets it. For success, self-confidence, not overconfidence. But confidence is a must. You should believe yourself. You should believe on your effort. Yes, I will have. I will get it. That confidence is the key to the success. And firm conviction. I will do this. The strong willpower. Just as Lord Buddha, I shall die or do. I shall do or die. I shall not move an inch from my seat unless I realize the truth. And he did so. Many, our Ramana Maharshi sat without anything, without looking at anything. For 7 days, his flesh of the thighs melted, rotten, and when he gets up, he had so much wounds in the body, and he was fully absorbed in the Absolute. That strong willpower one should have, that we don't have, that is key to success. Strong willpower, self-confidence, continuous effort, and renunciation of the whole world, Mahatyag. If you have not renounced all these objects of the world, the mind will go there. So how can you sit for a long time? How can you be steady? In this way, all these are the key to get success. So tomorrow we shall see further. What did Sikhidhwaj again ask? An ignorant fellow cannot be indifferent. That we shall see tomorrow. Because he doesn't know about the object, that it is useless, just as the ascetic thought of the glittering glass piece. He didn't know that this object is useless, that ignorance. Though he knows it, sometimes it becomes difficult to renounce it. Now the ascetic could not give it up because he had reliance upon the glass piece. So he had to catch it, hoping that this will give me some pleasure. So indifference is not possible for ignorant people also. This we shall discuss tomorrow. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 सद्गुरु भगवान की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम।